Good morning, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to see so many of you here. To start with, my name is Insa Nolte, and I'm here today as the head of the School of History and Cultures at the University of Birmingham, which is the school in which Joy and Charles and some other participants of this conference are based. Thank you very much for making your way to Birmingham. And thank you especially to those of you who came a long way to be here. I hope that you'll find it a productive journey and that you'll enjoy your stay here. And I would say, despite the weather, perhaps because of the weather, that will force you all to stay indoors and speak to each other rather than to enjoy the otherwise very beautiful grounds and gardens nearby. The Historic Houses Global Crossroads project is an excellent example of the work we do and celebrate at Birmingham, one of the first civic universities in this country. By rethinking the role of historic houses in the UK as dynamic sites of global cultural exchange rather than static symbols of empire and exclusion, this conference challenges narratives focused on nation and empire and celebrates the social and material aspects of cultural encounter and entanglement. And as I said to those of you that I was lucky enough to interact, I consider that very important, partly because I work on Africa. So I very often walk through historic houses very much with an eye on what was brought here from parts of the world that are central to my own imagination, to my own work. Your critical, your interdisciplinary approach resonates not only with the multiple disciplines within the School of History and Cultures, which includes historians, anthropologists, archaeologists, classicists, and people working in heritage studies, but also with our cross-disciplinary commitment to material culture and memory, and our engagement with public history and civic life. Moreover, the conference is part of a highly collaborative endeavor, which is something we welcome and embrace. In today's world, new knowledge and transformative interpretations are still sometimes the work of brilliant individuals. However, more often, they arise from collective deliberations and debates, which, if we're honest, often also form the backdrop to brilliant individual insights. And on that note, I wish you all a fruitful conference. Before I hand over to Joy Porter, I would like to mention Lynn Wadding, Bryony Widders, and Chloe Fife, with whom I've interacted in the past weeks in the run-up to this event. I know conferences don't organize themselves, so thank you very much for your work. And again, I'd like to thank all of you for coming together to hold this wonderful event here in Birmingham. Thank you.
So I wanted to thank you all for all the effort of getting here today. I know how much effort that is, and I know there's people that have come from all over the world, they've crossed oceans, and I really, really appreciate it, and thank you for that hard work of getting yourselves here. This, I think, is one of the nicest bits of this big project, because this is the bit that's just for the academics, where we get to think and play with ideas and grow our knowledge and, say the wrong thing, say the right thing, really think about our research in a big, wide, contextual sense and challenge ourselves and challenge each other to think beyond the box. So this, for me, is one of the nicest bits. And I know it's a project where there's lots of innovative stuff going on. We've got soundscaping and choice modelling and I can't even list it all. We have public engagement, we have an amazing amount of stuff happening. But this is the lovely intellectual core. We're doing the living, pulsing heart bit now. And I think while we've got this chance, we should really seize it and enjoy ourselves, and in the spirit of collaboration and friendliness, really think as much as we can about how historic houses can be reconceived as global crossroads. So that's the main thing I wanted to say. I also wanted to say thank you to Chloe and to Lynn Wadding, who's heroically done a lot of the work getting us all here. And Lynn is one of those unsung people who I want to sing about. She's done an amazing job, and we value her and really appreciate everything she's done. And I also want to thank Bryony and Olwen and Dr. Emma Rees, who's not here today, unfortunately, for reasons outside of really her control, and we really appreciate everything that Emma has done. Now, in terms of what can this conference do for you, there's a couple of things. One is there's going to be, and we've already prearranged this and got the green light, they're crazy enough to let us do this. We've been given permission, and Bryony led on this, to have a special issue of what's it called, Rethinking History. And it's just going to be an issue that features the keynotes and some of the key pieces of work from the project. So look out for that. This is the list of papers that are going to come out from that, and it's people we've brought together specifically for rethinking history. The other thing we've done is taken over the Cambridge elements in critical historical studies, which is actually a name Chloe really hates, but we couldn't change it because of metadata. However, we are really keen on publishing every single person in this room within that series. Now, these are small books, 20 to 30,000 words. They're refable, and we're really open to all the kinds of things you do, like any form of heritage innovation on any level. And we really, really welcome proposals from you, and we'll work with you to get the proposals in the kind of shape Cambridge want. So although the keynotes are doing this special issue, there's this other option, and it's just a one-page proposal form where you just do an abstract and a little bit about you and say what you're doing that's critically innovative or is going to move debates onwards in some way within one or more field. So we love to hear from you. So what I'm suggesting is capitalize on this day in multiple ways, not just by networking with all these illustrious folk, but also by considering writing something that will advance your career and get your name known, not just within academia, but within the heritage sector more widely. And of course, Cambridge has Cambridge Core, so it goes out all over the world. Yes. So I did think that you might want to know more about what we're particularly keen on getting. And you've been kind of chosen because I suspected that you might be able to write on one or more of these themes. And Hein, who is the soundscaper, is doing one on soundscaping and heritage. Isn't that right? Or you're thinking about it? Oh, right, good. So that's a very sexy, interesting thing in heritage, sound, using sound to bring diverse cultures into heritage contexts. So you might also want to think about intangible cultural heritage, so things like folklore, music, dance, recipes, food, and the UK recently joined the Intangible Cultural Heritage Treaty and is part of that whole edifice within Europe. So looking at some aspect of that as an avenue for heritage could be, an interesting project. Chloe's particularly fascinated by heritage risk. Her own PhD is on really crime, I suppose, and free ports and heritage crime. So that's one of our areas, both of expertise and interest. So Chloe is the associate editor within this series. And during this day will be someone that I encourage you to chat to if you're thinking about putting a proposal in, because she will be lovely and kind and nice to you and not frightening at all. Isn't that right? No, never. Right. So the other thing we're really interested in is the economics of heritage. And you probably know within this project we have brought econometrics into, data-driven decision-making into heritage. So we love any of that. And also anything to do with memory, healing, well-being. That's also a very, and we have an expert on that in the room, Faye Sayer. So that would be an amazing thing if anyone was interested in contributing on that. So that's all I have really to say.